Welcome to Riva del Garda. It's festival time. We've got a real show extravaganza this week. All the bikes, all the tech, all the people, and...
What else, Steve? We're racing.
We have raced.
eMTB.
We have raced.
Oh yeah, sorry, we shot this before. But it's all coming up on the EMBN show.
So, welcome to Riva del Garda. Amazing backdrop here at the lake in northern Italy. We've been actually blown away by the amount of e-bikes at this show. Now, Don, you've been to GHETTO last week.
I have, yeah.
How does it compare with what's happening in California?
Definitely a big Euro feel here. Yeah. Lots of e-bikes. I think GHETTO is catching up. In the last 4 years I've been there, there's definitely more e-bikes now than there ever have been. But I definitely feel like this is a bit more Germanic, dare I say.
Totally.
There's a lot more big German brands here, lots of e-bike riders, lots of people riding around town on e-bikes, getting up into these hills and riding all day on them. So
it seems to be that speaking to some of the big brands, like 4 years ago, e-bikes were really small. You'd find them in the corner of the show. Now they're dominating the stands. I mean, I reckon it's probably about 40, 60s, I don't know, it's big though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's lots of cool new bikes, lots of brands that I've not heard from, bigger brands coming out with new stuff, so it's exciting times for e-bikes.
I think it's quite an interesting place to ride. We've been out on the trails the last few days, and obviously this place was an iconic location 20 years ago. Everyone used to come here and ride fire roads up and fire roads down, but now there's a lot of big, horrible, limestone, gnarly vertical drops. It's a pretty full-on place to ride, right?
Absolutely massive mountains, gnarly trails, but you get to finish here by the lake, so it's good days out.
Yeah, and we're lucky enough to have some beers from the YT crew. Thanks for letting us have us on your stand.
Right, Steve, let's get into the feedback, what people have been saying in the comments section this week.
Yeah, so we're going back to the progression in the sport, which myself and Martin talked about on the show last week. This one's from Toasty Bear. Toasty Bear. I reckon a cool challenge would be to set a course, say 50 kilometers long, up a mountain and down again, but at the end, you must have used all your battery, and any that's left, you have to ride around a circuit until it's dead. First one at the end, and out of battery wins.
Well,
that's not a bad idea.
It's an interesting idea. I've done that before. I've ridden uphill until I've killed the battery, turned around and rode back down.
But you think it's quite a difficult balance. If you go, right, I'm going to kill my battery and do the event, and there's a danger you could lose all your battery charge and you'd be pushing the bike home. Although at the same time, you don't want to be pedaling around a circuit, look like an idiot for half an hour.
Well, I think e-bike racing challenges like we've done, it's all learning experience for e-bikes and racing. I don't know where it's going to go. Who knows what's going to happen? I always talk about supercross, like motorbike supercross in a stadium, e-bike race.
You've got to be in your bonnet.
I have. Who knows what's going to happen?
What about this from Tyrone Pinoy? Run, race, enduro routes backwards. That would be something not fun on a regular MTB and super fun on e-bikes. I'm not so sure about that.
Possibly would be, but we've got to be responsible trail users. We've been talking about that today, Steve.
And I think what I've been talking about with people here in Riva del Garda is the fact that there are going to be more custom-made e-bike trails, and it's still an experimental time for the sport and how we do stuff.
Yeah, we've seen Bosh get on board already with that place in Germany with an uphill flow trail. I think there's more of that coming. Yeah. Interesting time.
On a funnier note, midlife biker, in relation to some of the questions last week, I don't understand, this was about, what was this about? Understand hate. Okay, we got a bit of hate to do with sport, e-bike sport.
Really?
Yeah, anyway, midlife biker goes on to say, I don't understand hate, full stop, although Brussels sprouts do come close. Saying that, I don't go standing in comments looking for Brussels sprout forums to my voice, my opinion, and I've actually tried them many times.
I get it. I think
I don't get Brussels sprouts, but I wouldn't send a message in. I like it though, midlife bike, it's quite funny.
I have to admit, I'll hold my hands up and say 5 years ago, I didn't do it publicly, but I wasn't a big fan of 29ers. Completely changed my mind about that. E-bikes probably the same. I probably was a bit of a hater, a closet hater, but I've tried it, I love it. So I think people will come around.
Yeah, all right.
Can't hate forever.
On a more practical level, Tommy Saarinen, and Tommy, you've been on the show a few times. Thanks for getting in touch. In Finland, you can buy an e-bike. In Finland, you can get an e-bike. You get £400 for free help with your purchase. I don't know if this is in the other countries or not, but I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I think that's one of those sort of green transport initiatives. I think it's Brilliant.
And I think we're seeing some of this going on in Italy as well, where you can have a bike for 3 months to decide whether you like it or not.
Pat Smage.
Pat Smage has been on the show.
We know Pat Smage. He is unreal on a bike, trials bike. Me and Martin couldn't help ourselves last week. We had a bit of trials on the show. And we showed Pat Smage and Tony Bow and Jamie Bustow mucking about on... Some good names there.
Yeah, there are some big names. And they're into e-bikes, which is great.
And he says, thanks for showing my footage. Wow, no problem, Pat. Thanks for doing it. Unreal.
So here in Garda, we had the chance to talk to a lot of people in the e-bike world, brand owners, athletes, and just to kind of get a feeling, get a gauge for the current state of play in the e-bike world. This is what they had to say. Hey, so let's talk Bosh.
Yeah.
What's coming from Bosh in the next 12 months?
So, you remember last year we announced the eMTB mode, which is the dynamic progressive mode for e-mountain bikes, especially in that terrain here, to enjoy the uphill flow. So this year we have created a whole trail package, which is the eMTB mode.
Yeah.
And now that we discovered riding uphill, you can sometimes with a longer crank hit an obstacle like a root or a rock. So for technical riders, there is a tendency to go to shorter cranks, 160 or 150.
150, that's pretty short.
Pretty short, yeah. I ride 150 on my bike.
Oh, cool, we'll have a chat about that.
Yeah, we should do that. And then we discovered that the dynamic progression of the eMTB mode, we have to adjust the characteristic curve to short crank. Now we have a software update, and the dealer can put the software update on your bike. If you have 170 millimeters, you want to go to 150, your dealer can update.
Right.
So this is number 2, and number 3 is the push assist.
Right.
That helps you pushing your bike uphill. And we were not focusing in our push assist on the e-mountain bike in the past years, and then we discovered there are really situations where you are not able anymore to ride your bike, and then the push assist helps you really climbing.
Wow. Now there's a lot of professional mountain bikers here at Riva del Garda Festival. I'm joined by Steffi Marth from Trek. Steffi, free racer, explorer, and now e-bike rider.
Yeah, why not? I just love riding bikes, all kinds of bikes. That's why I call myself a free racer. I just love to explore, ride everywhere and race in between. So yeah, and e-bike is just the new things.
So you've been several times national 4-cross champion. You've ridden kind of World Cup downhill. I guess e-bikes is just another bike, right? I mean, you ride road bikes, everything, all bikes. Just e-bikes the same thing.
Yeah, no, for me it's just another bike, and it's a totally different experience, of course.
So what about your peers and your friends? I wonder what it's like in Germany compared to the rest of the world. So in the UK, some of my friends, give me stick.
Give you stick anyway.
Because it's, it's for old people, it's for disabled people. They've not tried one, they don't like it. What's it like in Germany? Have you found any of that negativity at all?
Yeah, it's a bit controversial. Can you say it like that?
Controversial.
Yeah, controversial. Because you still have those people that are like, no, I'm not touching an e-bike, and but everyone who tries it thinks it's funny. Actually, I mean, it's just you can ride trails uphill, which is like.
Do you ever use it as like a training tool for your other kind of competition you do?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm not when I go and ride e-bike. Basically like. I'm pushing myself really hard. I'm not just cruising around. Like you just ride further and faster, and you can actually do technical stuff uphill and downhill.
So you've got your e-bike, but maybe you want to go full electronic, so you can get your electronic gears, and you can also get an electronic dropper seat post. And this one's from Magura. It's called the Viron. So you've got a remote up on the bar, completely wireless, so no messing around with internal routing or anything like that. And it works just like a normal drop seat post, so you hold the button and actually use your weight to drop the post. So it comes in 100, 125 and 150 mil drop. It's going to last you about 400 uses, and then you need to recharge it via that micro USB in there, and it costs about 450 euros.
Right, so we're at the Schwalbe stand looking at the new Hans Dampf tyre. Now the main difference is the tread pattern on this, really aggressive front and rear, which means it's great for braking and also digs in for those climbs. Now width-wise, it's going to be available in 2.6 and 2.8 in a super gravity later in the year. At the minute, this tyre here is the 2.35 in super gravity. The 2.6 and 2.8 also come in Apex casing, which is available right at the moment. Weight-wise, we're looking at about a kilo for the 2.6s, so it's a good e-bike specific tyre that you should be checking out. We are at the Go stand, and there's a really exciting new e-bike from the German company. This is the Slammer X, 140mm on the rear, 160 up front. Loads of amazing details on this bike. I'm going to start from the front and work backwards. So wheel-wise, 29 up front, 27.5 on the rear, just like the Canyon Spectral on. Moving back, the main part of the bike, the chassis, carbon front triangle, aluminium rear. Shimano Steps E8000 system in here, the battery and motor. There's a kind of semi-integrated external battery on there. Suspension wise, we've got a Lyric up front, I think, and a Coil Vivid RockShox on the back. We're forgetting one thing, cranks. There's been a lot of talk about cranks on e-bikes. On the 140, 160 bike, it's actually got a 155mm crank set, which is quite innovative in my eyes. On the 140 bike, it's got a 160mm crank. So yeah, great to see Ghost in the mix. So this is Scotty climbing his local steps to the local church. I think he flatted a few times doing it, but he's really obsessed with e-bikes, this man, I'm telling you.
Is he?
Absolutely.
He's got some power, this man.
I asked him to come and work on the channel. What do you reckon?
Yeah, let's do it. Where in the world, Steve? Well, we're in Lake Garda in Italy.
Look at it, isn't it amazing?
What a place. But Andrew Muller is in Switzerland, and check out this picture he sent us.
Yeah, just a bit like kind of garden gnomes in the woods, right?
It's got 4 Cube e-bikes, and they're all Cube.
Yeah.
Are they? No, KTM. I don't know. Sorry, Andrew.
This is what happens when you encourage people to send in photographs of where in the world. Great.
Good to see.
Nice to see. Keep sending them in. Let's have some more videos on the channel.
Yes.
What we've been up to, we've been kind of adventures inside, outside, upside down, whatever. Send it through. So GHETTO Tech, and what better place to bring it than from the shores of Lake Garda.
Steve, it's raining.
I know it is. Anyway, this is from Will Reichbeth, and this is a cover that he's made for Bosh battery once you've taken them out. Dead handy, I reckon, for when you're travelling, Don.
It's pretty, nice little touch. I've never thought about doing that before, but why not?
I've just noticed.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, actually. Will ride.
I like it.
Future tense.
All right, I get it.
Great. Send us your GHETTO Tech in. What you've been up to? You've been adjusting your bike, so making modifications. We want to see the stuff you've got.
The more ghetto, the better.
GHETTO. Right, it's starting to rain here in Lake Garda. We're going to go straight into the bike vault, and the Don has got me a nice little blanket for my laptop. I'm really conscious we're going to get wet there.
Jumper.
Sorry, I've just deleted the name of the first photograph. Looks like it's somewhere hot.
It's a giant.
It's a giant. It's definitely a giant. Lovely
sunset.
sky.
I'm saying that's super nice. We haven't got anything to ring or,
I tell you, we'll
super nice.
Can we do? Well, let's get some super nice. Have some
mayonnaise.
Some mayonnaise. Actually, we got so some mayonnaise for that one.
Right.
Some cayenne pepper next.
Once Carl Beaver's in Idaho on his Bulls.
The Beaver, nice one. The Beaver, Idaho.
That's a Bros motor on the Bulls, I think. I don't know.
Good motor.
Looks like there's a lot of good terrain to ride around there, so I'm sure that is a lot of fun. He's got some 27 plus tyres.
Don, sorry, I'm going to have to rush you. The rain is coming down. Next photograph.
Nice.
We're on to Denley Tarplet in Rotorua, Harrow Shift Plus.
Rotorua. It's getting exotic.
It's getting exotic.
Haro. It's a BMX brand for me.
Yeah. Okay, next.
Greg Minard won Downhill World Champs on a Haro.
Sorry, Don, we're pressing on. It's raining. We're going to move on. Nice one, Denley. Dusko Radic in Croatia.
That's a cube. It's a modern.
Come on.
It's a brand new cube.
Come on, Don. It's got to be a super nice.
Flipping amazing, right?
Yeah, Dusko, we're going to give you the cayenne pepper. That's super nice.
Can't explain why you get that, but
next up.
Super nice bike.
Okay, next up, we're getting some pepperoncino.
It's a very similar bike. It's another grey, blue, turquoisey cube. This time in Finale. It's Fiona Jarvie.
Fiona Jarvie.
And I do know from experience that riding an e-bike in Finale is one hell of a good time.
Is Fiona going to get the curry?
Yeah, why not?
Super nice curry.
Oh!
The producer is wondering what the hell's going on.
I'm wondering as well, to be honest.
Okay, sorry, shall I leave that then?
Jasper in Copenhagen, Denmark. Hi bike. That's the bike you've been riding today, that All Mountain 8.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Yeah, nice or super nice? Ooh, Focus. Oliver Blins, Oliver Bins in Queensland.
What's that? It's a jam, Focus Jam squared or
yeah.
Sam squared?
Come on, super nice. Great.
Yeah, I like it.
I think that's what the producer wanted. Here we go, Wilson Brothers. I couldn't resist that because I thought Martin will just be cross.
Oh, an EMBN jersey. We've got a Lapierre Oval and a Yeti SB66.
Nice one, Wilson Bros. Super nice.
Thanks for sending your bikes, getting the bike vault. I love it. I love seeing your bikes. I love seeing where you're riding them all around the world. So keep doing it. You might just get a super nice bottle of whatever.
We'll be back in the shed next week.
We will be.
Yeah.
If you want to see another video, one that you did with a bit of a legend,
1,000 Foot Dead.
with Sylvain Guintoli.
1,000 Foot Dead with Sylvain Guintoli, who was 2014 World Superbike Champion.
Amazing.
Check it out.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up if you like our coverage coming from Lake Garda.
Lake Garda. As the boat goes across the lake.